Hey everyone, we are going to work on practice sheet 14. So one thing that you're going to notice is it says find the area of the composite shape. I'm actually going to change the wording to find the area of the shaded region. So I changed that, as you can see. So we have two shapes here. We have a triangle and we have a circle, right? We're focusing on area. So that means you need your formula chart. And we don't want to use circumference, guys. It says area. So let's make sure we write it. Triangle, half BH. Circle, A equals pi r squared. Triangle, half BH. Okay. Okay, so our circle this time is pretty easy. It has this which is 4, and hopefully we know that's diameter, right? That goes all the way. So we need a radius, which would just be to the middle. Okay, so we have a radius of 2, right? So your job is going to be to multiply this out. That'll give you the little missing piece that we're going to subtract. Then for the triangle, basically we're needing this right here, a base and a height that form a right angle. Okay, so that's this distance right here. Okay, so half 9 times 11. Now none of these are even, so just multiply the two numbers, then divide by 2. Okay. Number 2. Hopefully we can tell this is an arrow problem. Okay, left. Normal subtraction goes left. Subtracting a negative goes right. Different, subtract. Now when you subtract, guys, please make sure that you're lining up your decimals. If I don't have a decimal here, but I do here, let's make sure we write it this way. Okay, and then whatever you get, one more to the left or more to the right, hopefully you can tell them more to the left. So solve that and put it next to the negative. Number 3, we've done that I don't know how many times, so I'm not going to do that with you. Number 4, Katie drove 236 miles in 4 hours. If she drove at a constant speed, write this as a unit rate. Remember, a unit rate means like you want a 1 on bottom. Okay, so my final answer will be miles per hour. Okay, so your job, remember, if I want a unit rate, is to divide it. Okay, so that's going to be your job. Okay. Okay, number 5. I do not know how far we will have gotten by the time you get to this, so I want to make sure I cover this from beginning to end. So constant rate of change, 8th grade we will call this slope, is delta y over delta x. We'll probably be doing this one on Monday. So delta y means the change in y. Delta means change. So I have to figure out how much this is changing by. So how much is this getting bigger by? 8 plus what is 11? Hopefully you can tell it's plus 3. And 11 plus 3 is 14, and 14 plus 3 is 17. So 3 would go on top, okay? On bottom, 2 plus what is 4? 4 plus what is 6? 6 plus what is 8? So this x, the change in x goes down, and that's it. That's the constant rate of change, okay? That's what we call m, okay? So you don't have to change that. It can be left just like this, okay? Okay, if you don't understand it, you have the answer there, and we will continue focusing on that in the coming weeks and in the coming days. Find the circumference of the circle. Number 6. So before we do that, what is this right here? What do we call that? Hopefully you know that's radius, right? Circumference. 2 pi r because I'm given the radius. And then on this one, guys, I would do this from left to right. This means times 2, not half. Times 2. And the radius is 9.4. Here's what I would do. This is easy enough. 3.14 times 2. I can do this in my head. I don't even have to show the work. That is 6.28. Your job is to multiply by 9.4. So y'all do that, okay? Okay. Now, let me see. This kind of got wonky here. There we go. It's a little better. You're going to cross multiply this, right? Multiply that. And put it on one side. On the other side is 11x. And then you divide both sides by 11. If you do it correctly, you will get a whole number. Okay? Okay. So number 8. Which number sets does the number 100 belong? Well, remember, these are in order. When we talked about NWIR, never walk in rain. Every number we know, remember, every number we know goes in rational. Everything except for pi. Okay? And remember, natural starts with 1. Whole starts with 0. So like if I do natural, 1, 2, 3, 4, eventually I get to 100. If I start with 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to get that. Integers are all of these, but also negatives. It just doesn't happen to be negative this time. So 100 is all of these. Okay? And let's see here. Number 9. At an animal shelter, there are 5 cats for every 3 dogs that are up for adoption. If the shelter has a total of 32 animals up for adoption, how many would you predict would be dogs? Okay, this word predict almost always tells me to do a proportion. Almost always. So make sure you have a pencil. It says cats and dogs. 5 cats, 3 dogs. That's my ratio. If the shelter has a total, something different, neither one of these is total. Up for adoption, how many would you predict would be dogs? So I need dogs. So that's where I'm going to put X. And 32 is the total. So 32 goes up here. The problem is 5 is not the total. 5 is cats. I need the total. So remember, that means I need the ratio total. 5 plus 3, which is 8. Okay? And I want you to cross multiply this or solve for x, however it is, and figure out what the number of dogs would be in that shelter. Okay. Number 10. You can tell this is an add subtract problem. So starts to the left, normal subtraction moves to the left, same sum add to the left.